this kind of brings on to opening up your experience. And I've mentioned Richard Feynman as one of my favoriteest people to have lived. Give us an insight, because you experienced
Yes,
being taught by him.
I was very lucky in that I was able to get some lectures in quantum electrodynamics from Richard Feynman himself. Um, and I think my takeaway was, first of all, what a fascinating storyteller. He taught physics through story and narrative. He was very physically active. You can go see the Feynman lectures um, on YouTube and that, and he's dancing, basically. The amount of physical action and the way he uses his voice. And all these things are brought together to describe exceptionally weird and complex physics with, very complicated mathematics. But within this narrative, he's bombarding you with movement, voice, explanations, and a wonderful narrative that just brought you in. And for some reason, it's like he's taken away the clamps on your brain, and you start to understand things that would normally have been, 6 hours in the library looking at a textbook and still not getting it. But I do think the lecture was a performance that opened yourself up to the actual content that he was delivering in it. So if he'd done it just sitting there and standing and talking, I think it'd be not as effective. So it was that performance that allowed you to learn.
But that's a fascinating, again, observation to understand, well, if that is the case, and what made him an incredible communicator, then we can adopt that. I mean, also for context, because many people maybe don't know who he is, what did he do? What was so significant about him with his achievements during his life?
He worked on the Manhattan Project first as a very junior physicist with Oppenheimer. He was renowned for being naughty, just because he was a magician, and he was also an excellent safecracker. And he got in trouble because he just wanted to prove that he could break in and open the safe of where all the secret documents were, which he did. And you can imagine, the military don't have the best sense of humor. The fact that their best security, he was able to go in and get it out. So he was a prankster like that. He was well known for playing bongo drums and being the equivalent of a 1950s hippie, a mod, sort of type thing. Well read.
The NASA
Oh
situation.
yes, when the space shuttle unfortunately blew up, he was called in to solve the problem. Because there's billions of parts of that. And of course, again, his clarity of mind, his logic solving, he was able to do that. He was a brilliant physicist. He got the Nobel Prize for coming up with what's called, you'll hear a thing called quantum diagrams or Feynman diagrams, which are ways of representing particle and energy reactions. That goes along with a whole bunch of complicated mathematics, but this Feynman algebra allows mere mortals like ourselves to handle this mathematics in a much more reasonable way to get to answers. So yeah, and he just had an energy about him, but a sharp mind, and it would apply it to any problem, not just physics.